Video number 3 on the day, championship case number 9. Yes, it's been a busy day. This is the first non-South American video of the day. We talked about Juan Pablo Montoya from Colombia this morning. Then we talked about Brazil potentially hosting the Busch Clash in 2026. Well, now we're talking about Arizona's Alex Bowman. So, yes, this is not a prediction. As I always say, we do this for all 16 playoff drivers. Go check out the playlist if you have it already. But yes, we're going to do Alex Bowman's championship case. As I said with Brad Keselowski yesterday, this is where it gets a little bit tougher. We really got to scratch and claw, just like these guys are going to have to scratch and claw their way to the championship for. Alex Bowman's season has looked like this so far. He has a win at the Chicago Street Race. He has 6 top 5s, 12 top 10s. He's led only 14 laps on the season and no stage wins. So he has 5 playoff points. And yes, as I always say, get as many playoff points. But for Alex Bowman, they have not come very often. So this is going to be a tough one. But Alex Bowman's path to the championship is very difficult. And he is going to have to survive. That's what this format is. It's about survival. If Ryan Newman can make it with 5 top 5s all season long in 2014, Alex Bowman, there's hope for you. Now, looking at his numbers for this first round, Atlanta, Watkins Glen, and Bristol, I will say this is a bit of a concerning round. Atlanta is a super speedway, and his best finish is 10th, and that was in March of 2022. He has yet to finish better than that. In fact, the next closest finish is a 14th. So, Atlanta has not been great to him in the super speedway era. He's gone 2 consecutive races without stage points, and he's going to need those. And as I said with Brad, unless you're going to run top 5 in 2 of these races, you can't afford a bad race. You have to run good. You have to outrun people. People at Atlanta are going to have problems. You can't be one of them, though. So Alex Bowman, the goal's got to be a top 15, no issues, get some stage points in there, and hopefully you'll have a decent amount of points. Then we go to Watkins Glen. And yeah, numbers aren't pretty here. He has never scored a top 10 at Watkins Glen. But I will say, Alex Bowman is an underrated road racer. He won the Chicago Street Race, and under what circumstances, I will let you debate. But you look at COTA earlier this year, he finished in the top 5. He's finished top 5 at the Roval before. He's finished runner-up at the Roval before. He's run well at COTA multiple times. But Watkins Glen has not been his strength. So he's going to have to show that speed he showed at COTA earlier in the season, what he showed at Chicago. He's going to have to show that speed. And another bright spot is that Hendrick Motorsports has won the last 5 races at Watkins Glen. So he's going to have a good car. He's going to have a great chance at success. He's just going to have to step up to the plate and hit a home run, or at least hit a single, a double. Get yourself a top 10. So a top 15 in that first race, top 10 in that second race. Get some stage points in there. It's probably still going to be a tight race, but Alex Bowman did finish 4th in the spring at Bristol. And ultimately, it may come down to getting a top 5. It may come down to getting a top 10 again. But if he can top 10 all 3 races in this first round, he'll be through. No questions asked. Other people will have problems. Guys with the same amount of points as him will have problems, and he'll be able to build enough of a gap. If he can top 10, top 15 these first 3 races without problem and get some stage points in there, I think he can squeak out of this round just fine. As for the second round, I will say this is probably his best round. Kansas in the next-gen era has actually been really kind to him. He has 4 top 10s in a row at the track. He led over 100 laps in the fall of 2022, won a stage, finished 4th in that race, had a shot at the win. He had a race-winning car that day. He had winning speed, which sometimes doesn't happen a lot for Alex Bowman, but it happened at Kansas. And in this next-gen era, there's a couple of tracks that have been really good for him. We'll talk about one of them later. But Kansas has been really good for Alex Bowman his whole career. He almost won his first race in 2019, led a bunch of laps in that one as well. For some reason, something about Kansas just really fits Alex Bowman's style. I don't know what it is, and he could potentially be a sleeper in that race. We're going to look at his teammate Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Martin Truex Jr. as guys who are the favorites, who are probably going to win. But Alex Bowman, he has sneakily been good at Kansas, and I think he has a legit possibility of a top 5 at this track, and he's going to need it. And then there's the next race, Talladega. Talladega is a wild card. What else is a wild card is Alex Bowman's results there. He did score a top 5 in the spring, but he's also had finishes of 28th, 13th, 9th, 38th, 38th, 14th, 7th, 37th. It's all up and down the list. He's got a runner-up. He's got a last. I mean, his results are all over the place. He's never won at a super speedway in his career, but if he can just survive that race and get a top 10, I think that's possible for Alex Bowman. If he can run top 5 at Kansas, top 10 at Talladega, he'll be in a good points position going into the Roval, which statistically is his best track, actually. He's never scored worse than a 10th place finish at the Roval. Top 10 every single race at the Charlotte Roval. He finished runner-up in 2019, 4th in the inaugural race, 2 8th place finishes in 2023 and 2020, and then a 10th place finish back in 2021. He didn't race in 2022 because he was hurt. But Alex Bowman at the Roval, as I said, an underrated road racer. He could very well be in the mix in terms of a top 5, top 10. So if he can top 5 Kansas, even if he gets a top 20 at Talladega and he's kind of flirting with that playoff bubble line, maybe he could sneak through if he runs top 5 at the Roval again. So Alex Bowman, as I said, he's going to have to scratch and claw his way through this playoffs if he wants a championship shot. And this round, I really think this is his best round. If he can get out of that first round, he has a legit possibility of making that round of 8 because he has 2 really good tracks and then the wild card for Talladega. So I think he has a really good shot. If he can run top 5, top 10 at Kansas, survive Talladega, top 5 at the Roval, you're through, buddy. And then that round of 8, that will be a must-win situation. Just going to be brutally honest. He doesn't have the points. It's going to take a Tony Stewart type run to get the points with Kyle Larson, with Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin, and all of them. So ultimately, I think it's going to come down to a must-win or finishing runner-up every single race. And let's be realistic, it's very hard to do that. So what is his best chance at winning? It's actually that first race, Las Vegas. Alex Bowman won at Las Vegas in 2022, the first next-gen race at Las Vegas. In fact, his first 2 finishes at Las Vegas in the next-gen era are a first and a third because he didn't race in the fall of 22. But the spring of 23, he finished third, led some laps in that race as well, scored stage points, won a stage in the spring of 22. But his last 2 results aren't as great, with the 18th and a 35th when he had a crash. But he was running in the top 10 when he had that crash. And once again, Hendrick Motorsports has won the last 4 races at Las Vegas. They won with Kyle Larson the last 2, William Byron in the spring of 23. So I guess they've only won the last 3. I forgot about Joey Logano in the fall of 22. Apologies for misspeaking. But then they've won 4 out of the last 5. That's statistically accurate. But Alex Bowman, this has got to be it. This is his shot. He, for some reason, is really good at Las Vegas in this next-gen car. He's led laps. He's won a stage. He's won a race. He knows how to get it done here. And he has to get it done to get into the championship 4. And I think this is his best shot because Homestead, he's got 2 top 10s at that track. He just hasn't run great there. And then Martinsville, while he does have a win there, and he ran top 10 in the spring, all 3 of his teammates were in the top 3. So, yeah, it's going to be tough to outrun Byron, Elliott, Larson at Martinsville. And I just think Vegas is his best shot at making it to the championship 4. And once again, I think it's going to come down to a must-win. So if Alex Bowman wins at Las Vegas, or Homestead or Martinsville, but I'm going to say Las Vegas, he has to win Las Vegas. He comes to this championship 4, there is going to be a lot of pressure on Alex Bowman. It's his home race. It's for a NASCAR Cup Series championship. And remember, he made his first start at Phoenix with Hendrick. Not his first overall start, but when he did make his first start with Hendrick Motorsports at Phoenix, you get what I'm saying, he led 194 laps in that race. Ended up finishing 6th. The late race restarts got a little crazy. But Alex Bowman at Phoenix, he's had his flashes. He's only had 1 top 10 since then, so I will say the numbers don't back it up, but anything can happen. Hendrick Motorsports will bring their best to Phoenix if they have a car in the championship 4. Anything can happen in this format. 4 drivers, whoever finishes highest. But in conclusion, for Alex Bowman to win the championship, survive that first round. Ultimate survival. Not your greatest tracks. You just got to get through to the next round. Second round, though, those are some tracks that work out for you. You've got Kansas, a track you've led a bunch of laps at, actually. Talladega's kind of a coin flip for you. But then the Roval, a track that you've never finished worse than 10th. So that's a great possibility to get through. And then that round of 8 ultimately is going to come down to a must-win or finishing second in every race. And Vegas is your best shot. You win Vegas, you're to the championship 4. Anything can happen. So thanks for watching this video. That is championship case number 9. I keep throwing my laptop away early because I don't know who's next. Who is next? Next on our list is going to be Joey Logano. We have to go all the way back to 15th in the standings. Joey Logano, oh my goodness. Yeah, these next 3 are going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. I thought this one was tough. Well, baby. Anyways, I'm glad I do these. I have fun. Just think about the possibility of an Austin-centric Daniel Suarez, Joey Logano, Alex Bowman Championship 4. Have fun sleeping tonight. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. We got a championship case tomorrow for Joey Logano. And then any other news that happens. We've had a busy couple news days. So I've had fun. Hopefully you have too.